So this is what, site 59?
Yep, we are at site 59. When I was picking out the site, I noticed that you could see the water from the site. So I thought, well, okay, we're going to try this one. And we were happy with it. You can walk through the woods here. Watch the sun come up. Just sit by the water, enjoy the water. So most of these sites are kind of small. We are camping in the big, what they call the big loop, and there are no electric hookups or anything here. And they are a bit small, as you can see, but they're cute, and there's lots of woods. You can see, very wooded. On the right side of this loop, we're on the lake side of it. See, these are some nice little sites here. And then here's the inner loop. But like I said, it's pretty wooded. And this is site 55. Over here on the left, you can see quite a few sites through the woods there. All right, so this is site 49. Now this is a pretty good size site right here, that you could get a pretty good size camper in here and lots of tents in this one. So again, site 49. And you can see across over here in the center is 52. And 50. And ahead of us is the bathhouse. We're going to share that with you. So this is the bathhouse right here. And we are going to take you in the women's side. Okay, so here is the restroom. And around this corner are 3 bathroom stalls and some sinks. And around the back here are some shower stalls. One is handicap accessible. So there's 4 shower stalls in this particular bathroom. Okay, so around the back of the bathhouse are 2 big sinks for you to wash up dishes and so forth. Okay. And again, these are all pretty much tent sites. But you can pull a rig in here if you wanted to. Would not recommend if you have a great big camper to pull into these sites, because first of all, these roads are really tight through here, and these sites are not very big. There's only a few pretty good sized ones in here.
I think this area is geared towards tent.
Yeah, it is. It's geared more towards tent camping, and of course for us, the van will fit into pretty much most of the tent sites that we've run across, so we're able to squeeze into them. But we wanted to share with you, it's a nice little campground. Right now there's hardly anybody here, so it's nice and peaceful, quiet.
It is the week before Memorial.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, Shannon was mentioning the outer loop ones seem to be bigger sites. And again, this is called the Big Loop. We're right on the lake. You can see there's potable water spigots. There is a dump station at the front of the campground for your needs. But here, you can see some of these are pretty good size. But again, there's no electric or water or anything. So you do have to be self-contained. And this is a nice one, number 9. Sits right on the lake. Okay, so these are the cabins.
Cottages. They call them cottages.
Okay, they call them cottages. Anyhow,
This looks like the handicap.
this is called the Mohawk, I think, cottage. This might be the handicapped cottage here.
Wow, look at that view.
But yeah, look at that view. Isn't that gorgeous? You've got a little picnic table out front. And I don't know what the accommodations are inside. You'd have to check online, but these are nice. Nice setup here. Great place to throw your kayak in. And great big fire pit. Okay, so again, these cute little cottages are right on the lake here. And again, there's a water source, another water source. But we are right now on the little road that takes you around to the cottages. And again, they all face the lake. This is the Seneca. The Erie one that we just passed, that was pretty cool. They had a really nice view of the lake. So this one's called the Huron. And again, we were noticing that they are all handicap accessible.
They're up to the fire pit.
Yep, all of it to the fire pit. And they all have this nice view that you can sit out on the porch and enjoy the water, the sights and the sounds.
And down here,
And there is the pit, fire pit.
I saw that said that was the lake trail.
Yep,
The
and there-
mile
okay.
beach trail.
All right, so yeah, Shannon's pointing that out. There's a trail that runs around the lake here. All right, so there is an amphitheater here.
We're at the beginning of this loop.
Yep, we are at the beginning of the big loop, I believe is what this is called. But anyhow, off to the left here, as you come in, is a path out to the amphitheater. We're going to take a walk out here to see what we see, but it's a pretty path. All right, so this is the amphitheater, and I imagine that they do all kinds of things here. Have little events set up, and you're again sitting right in front of the lake here.
It looks like a big lake.
Yeah, there's some beautiful, beautiful trees here. Look at those gorgeous trees. All right, as with most state parks, there is a campground host. So if you have questions or concerns, there is somebody here that can help you out. All right. And we are not allowed to go that way because it says do not enter.
We're going anyway.
Oh. Okay. All right, so this is site 25. Nice big site. Look how big that is. Lots of room. And across the way here in front of the lake, site 24. This is pretty too because you've got a lot of woods. You're right next to the lake.
I haven't seen a whole lot of unappealing sites
No,
in this area.
for the most part, this is a nice loop.
It all depends on the size of your equipment.
Yep. Very nice.
Lots of shade.
Yep, lots of shade. Okay, again, we're on the big loop, site 27, right here in front of the lake. Nice big site. You could put a big rig in this. So disregard what I said earlier. There are some pretty big sites on this loop that you could get a bigger rig in here. You just have to keep in mind that you have to be self-contained because there is no electric or water or sewer.
And there are tight turns.
Yeah, and there are some tight turns in here. Very tight. So this is site 31. And although it's not a very big site, it's really it's a nice little site. You have a nice view of the lake.
Nice place for a cup of coffee.
So again, there are some really tight turns in this campground, just to keep in mind. And there are some areas that the drop-off to get into the site can sometimes be a little bit treacherous. The site that we're at, we found one area when we were backing it in that was, I guess, less.
It was axle friendly.
Yeah, it was axle friendly. All right, so this is kind of tiny right here. This is site 38.
So this just tees out to these two sites back here.
Yeah, so this just kind of tees out, and this is just some tent sites back in here. Yeah. All right, so we are at site 42. Now this is really pretty through here. And look at that. You have quite a bit of room. A lot of privacy, a lot of woods around you. And then across from it is site 41. That's nice. Look at that view. Lots of room. Lots of room. And again, campground's pretty empty right now. We are here on a Monday evening. I am sure when it fills up, it's quite a bit noisier than it is right now, but it's very peaceful right now. Okay, here we are at site 44. Wow, look at that. Lot of room. Holy cow. And then 43. Okay, this 47, and then these few around here kind of wrap around each other so you would have neighbors a little bit close to you over on this side. But site 45 dips down. But this is what we were talking about earlier.
And that's a good 6 inches.
Yeah, put your foot down there so they can kind of get a, yeah, that's a pretty good drop. Yeah, so if you're pulling something in or backing it in, or
here, look, that's what this is. This
yeah,
this is pitch.
you would have to be real careful about
Yeah.
getting it in here because there's some pretty steep drop-offs there. And again, there's some pretty deep little drop-offs there. This is site 46. So you have to kind of cut these at an angle to get them in without scraping too much up. All right. So again, as we said, the drop-off, look how deep that drop-off is right there. And it kind of goes, so right here in the center is where we were able to pull in without scraping anything up. But just so you know, you do have to kind of deal with this a little bit out here on this loop, but it can be done. And we are back at Fran. So this is the cabin area. It's pretty.
Modern cabins, they called it. So my guess is they have the works.
So these are modern cabins. My guess is they have the works. I honestly don't know all of the amenities, but I'm sure if you look online, you'll find out. But I'm guessing because they call them modern, they have showers, bathrooms, and all of that, running water, electricity. So that would be considered modern in my book. Okay, so you can see these set back in pretty good. So you have a little driveway actually that takes you back in there. So nice and private, very wooded. We have one over here on the left. There you go. Yeah, way back in there. Over here on the right. Yeah. Looks like it hooks up with the one over here as well. But here we go. This is one of them right here. So it's really kind of neat how they have them sitting, they sit way back in. So you have a lot of privacy and a lot of woods. Look at how pretty the woods are through here. Gorgeous.
Maybe 8 to 10 cabins out here.
Yeah, it's really pretty. That was G and D that we just went past. As you can see, like over here on the left is one. There we go. And then looks like maybe over here on the right might be some more. But yeah, you don't sit right on the road, and you have a lot of privacy, so a lot of woods around you. So it's a nice cabin area.
Small loop.
I think big loop and small loop in this campground. I believe what we're getting ready to pull into up here is considered the small loop.
And I believe where most of the hookups are.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, the small loop is where they have some electric sites available. Yeah, that was one of them right there. If you can see over here to the right, electric. And these are electric sites. This is site 79. It's got a fairly good sized camper in there, but yeah. Yeah, but this is kind of open.
Significantly less trees.
Yeah, not a lot of trees. You do have power, but you don't have
These are full hookup.
Yeah, you can see that right there. It's a pretty good size camper. That was site 126 right there. And then it comes back around. There are a few areas on the inner loop that have some tree coverage and some shade. But yeah, I believe this looks pretty new. Yeah, there's water and sewer and everything here, it looks like, on this loop. And I believe this is what's called the A, or the small loop. And there's not very many sites. You can see these. And like I said, there's not a lot of shade, not a lot of privacy. The tent area, or the no power area that we're staying in, is a lot more in the woods than this is. But they do have these available with all the hookups, it looks like. They're just not very well shaded, not very private. So if you don't mind that, then there you go. All right, so site 92 is right here. It's right as you come in. Oh,
I can see this inner was
there
probably
you go.
part of
Site
the original.
92. I'm not sure if that's a site or not. No, it looks like water.
That's the
water.
beach trail.
Okay. There was a water source there. Okay, so that was, I believe, what is called the small loop. And again, here's the bathhouse up here. And then over here to the right, I think is what is called the big loop. Again, we showed you some of these sites previously. These are good tenting sites. You can get, some of these are small, and they're really mostly for tenting, but there were quite a few of them that we saw in the campground. They're nice size for a big RV or a big camper, you know, in a truck that you could park. So yeah,
This definitely looks like an older part of the campground.
yeah, this does definitely looks older.
I would
this
say maybe
section.
the original part.
Yeah, it might be, but definitely you can tell it's more wooded, a little bit more privacy in between the sites.
Definitely meant for tents.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure this would be considered all for tenting. They're not very big. This section right here, and what number is 105? Across the street you can see 104.
We'll go back through the other RV loop.
Yep, 103. So these are sites in the 100 area, and they look mostly for tenting. If you look, yeah, there you go, 75. All right.
This one or this one?
Okay, so here we are looking at sites 81 through 120, it looks like. 125, 137. All right, so we're going to take a left here. Now, yeah, again, these have electric and water hookups and sewer.
What?
Yep.
Wow.
But they're really open. I mean, you don't have a lot of privacy. You don't have a lot of shade. If that doesn't matter to you, then that's okay. You know, if you're self-contained like some of these big RVs and big campers are, you probably don't care. But for somebody like us, when we would like to have shade when it's hot, this would not work out too well. But anyhow, you can see. Yeah. All right. Okay, again, so we are in the 90s campsite area, and mostly for tenting. There is a bathhouse. All right, and we're starting to get into the area that Shannon and I are camping in, up here ahead of us. And some of these do have power. You can see the power boxes.
That's 74.
That's 74. They're not huge.
I'm going back out and going right, and that's where we are.
Okay. Again, you can see. Okay, and so the only place that we have found dumpsters for you to get rid of your trash is by the dump station, which is at near the entrance or exit of the campground. So we have not found any receptacles anywhere else in the campground. All right, so this is one of the beach access points right here. There's a restroom, and from what I understand, there's concessions, picnic tables, and you can access the trails around here through most of these parking lots. Okay, so this is a little path from the parking lot that takes you down to the beach area. And like I said, they have, probably starting after Memorial Day, concessions and so forth. There's restrooms. I know there's a boat launch close by. So anyhow, lots of picnic areas. A volleyball net, I can see that off in the distance. Okay.
Big day use area.
Yeah, big day use area back in here. Okay, so this is a pretty big area. Nice big beach area. Goes, wraps around over that way and then around over here.
This is that beach trail.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and then behind here is like a concessions area, a restroom, yeah, boat rentals. It's just how many days until Memorial Day? We're less than a week away from it. But yeah, I would say this place will be hopping after Memorial Day. But you can see there's families out here even now having little cookouts. Okay, so just kind of sum it up. It's a nice area, beautiful area, and it's a nice campground. Now I would say the area that we're staying in, which is called the Big Loop, is that correct?
I guess so, yeah.
It's much nicer here on the lake. It's much more wooded, much more private. You don't have power.
They're small sites.
Some of them are small, some of them are pretty big.
Tight turns.
Yeah, there's a lot of tight turns in the campground if you're pulling something. So that's something you might want to keep in mind. But it's anyhow, we just wanted to share with you guys in case anybody's trying to make some arrangements here and is not familiar with the area, because we couldn't find a whole lot of anything online when we were trying to figure out where would be the best option to stay while we were here. And anyhow, we've really enjoyed the little lakefront spot that we have, Site 59. All of those sites around in that area are super nice if you're interested in looking at those. Okay.